I had to choose, I would still choose you. After all the things society has told you to imbue, somehow your light has been able to shine through. The power resides within divine feminine, not only in women, but also in men. The balance obtained here is what will light our feet on the path to come. It is the strength that we keep near that will allow our spirits to hold steadfast and not succumb. The energy of love, of life, of all creation. The spark of light in the womb that combusts, evolves into a nation. The divine feminine, the power held so dearly. The divine feminine, the scope that allows us to see one humanity again so clearly. The power that we hold, the sparkling in our eyes, how our self and inner beauty unfold in the truth seen beyond the disguise. Oh, you are divine, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. I am thankful daily for all of the miracles that you birth. When I sit and I truly ponder the things that I'm grateful for, my heart does not wander. Because I know truth, and truth is love. If you live through understanding of self, then nothing comes above. When you understand your oneness with nature and all else that surrounds, you stop being disturbed by all of the external sounds. You realize the silence within yourself. You understand the meaning of true wealth. It is your health. Everything you intake then becomes part of your body, your temple, your physical self. Understand that the keys to your kingdom again lie within yourself. With all of this, we must remember there is nothing here with which we are not members. We must honor and respect the environment as ourselves, because we are directly impacted by everything we output, and that equates to our health. Kindness, love, grace. Allow heaven to become embodiment, much more than a place. And when things seem difficult, you are able to face, because through your divine feminine, you will recall your righteousness that cannot be replaced.
Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing this evening? Y'all may think I'm late, but I'm not. You may think I'm tardy, but I'm not. For some reason this evening, the ancestors were asking me to do a late stream. they wanted me to produce a late stream. And so things were happening in the process of developing this where they said late stream. And they slowed me down in every shape, form possible. Late stream. And so we were having technical issues. And it was like, yeah, you need to figure this out, and you will figure this out, but we want a late stream. And the understanding of this topic today, where we're dealing with the issue of Black women's medicine, from triumph, from trauma to triumph, the journey to divine, the divine feminine, and we're dealing with womb healing. They said they wanted a late stream because there are mothers who play roles all day, every day. And sometimes they don't get times to themselves until late in the evening. Last time we did this stream and we talked about this topic, it was a great experience. It was a good response, great response. And it was a part 1 and part 2, and part 2 was a little bit later, and we had a better response via part 2. And so it kept saying late stream. Because women's bodies at this particular time are created to do something that it was not, or doing something that it wasn't intended to do, which is in a single home. It is women are asked to embody divine masculine and divine feminine. They're asked to hold the role of mom and dad. And so sometimes in holding that role, yeah, you can't make a 6 o'clock show. You can't sit down and enjoy a 6 o'clock or a 7 o'clock show. Kids haven't eaten, you haven't had time to slow down. So this one was saying late stream. So I was thinking about doing it at 8 o'clock, but I hadn't resolved the problem yet. Late stream. I had to go, I was on another Zoom meeting for our youth program in our community. Late stream. I had to meet a business partner for a deal. Late stream. Everything happened today to say late stream. So we're going to do a late stream. And so today's topic, again, is Black women's medicine. And I embarked on this topic to give Black women honor before Mother's Day and after Mother's Day. If you want to understand why we celebrate Mother's Day way more than we celebrate Father's Day, I'm about to show you. We're about to discuss the power of the womb and womb healing. And so in this, we know that it's always our intent to see the rise of the African within. We're bringing Black people together so that we could understand what it is that we're supposed to be doing with the life that we have, the lives that we share, the people that we encounter. You can't really get to that point until you see what God has placed in you, because then you can get to what God has called you to do. That goes back to womb healing for a Black woman. Now there is a such thing as womb healing for a man, and we're going to touch on that a little bit today. So when we start dealing with our male topics, and man topics, we didn't want to say male topics. We're going to be dealing with man topics. Male and man, two different levels of consciousness. But tonight is about our queens and our princesses. Right? Even young women have to be prayed over and hovered over and cared for, so that the issues that plague Black women internally, they have less of a struggle evading the traumas of a womb. Now, because of the great response, I've been trying to do this for a while, this particular segment, in terms of being able to have a why am I echoing in my ear? I'll figure it out. But being able to have an experience where you want to call and talk about it. That's how I'm gonna do it. So you will see the setup, and then what I will do is if somebody does join, I'm going to allow you to end the circle,
circle,
and then we can have a dialogue. And that's how this process of the African Speaks, as well as a Keeper Inspirational Sunday, and anything that we do will grow. This is it. And so that's what we're looking towards to move towards. We'll move forward with late stream. So tonight, again, our topic is womb healing as it relates to seeking the divine feminine. Womb healing. And why are you doing this, Wala Muaje? What is it that pulls you to do this? My mom is coming in here. What are my moms? What? Hold on. Get out of here. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm great.
Yes. Yes, you are. You are great, King.
Hold on. Let me get this certificate. I gotta take this so I can see your face. Hold on. Right here. Let's remove this.
I've relaxed for the evening, so it's okay. But I'm so glad to be here with you. Your topic is awesome, and I was on for a minute, and then the Zoom information popped up, and I said, okay, yeah, I have to get on tonight.
I appreciate it. Now, what you want is something different. It's gonna be something completely different because you have something called the phenomenal woman?
Phenomenal females, women of excellence.
Phenomenal females, women of excellence.
Mm-hmm.
What made you put that together?
Well, while I was living in Arizona, I lived in Arizona for 10 years. And there were women out there that, were really not really being supported. They had hopes, dreams, aspirations, and didn't really have anyone to help them to discover how to utilize those gifts, talents, and abilities. So I was always telling them, you are phenomenal. You are a phenomenal female. And we spell female differently with a PH. Yes, and that's because what we're doing is changing the pH factor in women, to be positive, to be, uplifting, to love themselves and to not be fearful in walking in their purpose. And so that's what Phenomenal Females is all about, and that's how it came to be.
Funny. I had somebody would say, he messed up my pH balance.
Yes,
And I didn't
exactly.
understand what it was. So when you say realigning the pH, explain that.
Well, we know what pH actually stands for and how it's used health-wise and in our makeup, our DNA. But, we women have a serious problem sometimes with our DNA, and I call it demeaning negative attitudes. And so we don't buy into that. For every negative, there's always a positive. And if we continue to look forward and look up and look for the good in ourselves and in others, then we will realize everything that we want to realize. There's nothing too hard or too difficult for us to achieve. So it's just that matter of unity in the community.
And so in that connecting it to this the topic that I'm dealing with, Black women's medicine. Triumph, and journey to the divine feminine. With that, we know that Black women go through so much. And in that space of them trying to do or be better than what the world allows them to be. When you say phenomenal female, changing your pH balance.
Yeah.
How would you connect that to that journey as a that they're taking spiritually.
Hmm. Well, because we are threefold,
Mhm,
we are mind, body, and spirit.
mhm,
And it's the spirit that is our essence. That's who we are. And so it's important that we uh, really get in touch with that. You know, they say that Satan is the prince of the airways. Why? Because he's a spirit, and he can get into anything, anybody. He can use whoever will lend or yield their spirit to be used. And
mhm.
so spiritually, it's important for us to stay grounded and to know who, not only who we are, but whose we are. And all of that together will help with our pH, with
Mhm.
balancing us out.
Is there in that space? Is there any? Can you hear? Can you hear me? In that space, is there any other scenario where um the encounters are like, is it like reading, interacting? Because I know you do a fundraise, not a fundraising, but a conference. And so what does the conference entail?
Well, we have a nonprofit, and
Mhm,
actually, Phenomenal Females was created to be the social uh, of our nonprofit, which is Unified Efforts Women's Benevolent Consortium. And what we do is we buy we with other nonprofits, preferably female established and led nonprofits, to help them with meeting their financial goals for the year. We select a nonprofit that we do fundraising, and we put the
mhm.
fun in fundraising because we like to party. So yeah, yeah. So and then at the end of the year we have a big gala where people, where we invite people, we sell tickets, and all of the money that's raised goes to that particular nonprofit. And then at the beginning of the year, we start all over again with another one. But the main thing is the synergy.
Mhm,
We can't do anything or really accomplish anything alone.
mhm,
We need each other.
mhm,
We need each other to realize our goals and aspirations. But it takes that thing that's on the inside,
mhm,
that desire,
mhm,
that selflessness
mhm.
to make that, come to fruition. So I
One
don't know
of
if I answered the question or not, but
Yeah, yeah.
I go all the way around the
It's
block sometimes.
no, you did good. In terms of the journey towards to the divine feminine, and what your program does to help other women manifest
Mhm.
their greatest self inside. And so
Exactly.
then working with, because you're working with women who have nonprofits producing change within their own communities.
Exactly.
And in
That's what
that
it's all.
process, right. And so that mother spirit helping another
Mhm.
mother spirit
Mhm.
be the best mother that she possibly can.
Absolutely.
So
You
did I
got it.
explain it right?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I'm hoping that I can go back and revisit this again. I just wish I
Mhm,
was
mhm.
looking a little cuter today. But anyway, I was bound determined to get on this
Thank you.
Zoom with you tonight because I really appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate your heart.
Thank you.
You have to have a heart for people. And I think we had a discussion the other day where I was saying to you that um, we need more men like you in this world
Thank
to help a woman to be all that she can be because we are woe men.
you.
We are women, but we are woe men because we're a man with a womb. And that's very, very important to know. And what we do, no other, no man can do. You know,
Exactly.
we were created to be this. And so, therefore, we should be honored. We should be um, you know, uh, sometimes we don't act or deserve it or act deservingly, but still, the way God made us is to be a carrier. We are the only females and mammals, we're the only ones that can conceive and carry and feed
One of
a life.
that's powerful because in the process of healing, I talk about the power of giving birth.
Mm-hmm.
And the man can only give birth to ideas, concepts, things.
Right.
But a woman gives birth to a life.
Yes.
And one of the images, I'll see if I can put up here so I can show it to you while we talk. And then a couple of other conversation pieces. There we go. So if you see it, it's on my face.
Mm-hmm.
They said in the beginning of time, there was nothing but the Creator.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, let there be light. And from that light, everything manifested.
Mm-hmm.
And last year when I had to do a sermon on Mother's Day, and I started studying Black woman,
Mm-hmm.
it says that now technology is advanced enough to see the moment of conception in a woman's womb.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when the zinc in the semen hits
Mm-hmm.
the egg,
Mm-hmm.
there's a spark of light
Mm-hmm.
in the cosmos
Yes.
of the womb.
Mm-hmm.
And I got emotional when I heard that because that it showed me how the black woman is literally a identical being of the Creator.
Yes.
Of divine thought. Because the black man, we don't create light within ourselves. There is nothing that we can do to have a spark of light that can be captured by a microscope.
Nope.
Or whatever technology you use to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, it doesn't matter the trauma that a black woman goes through. In her genetic makeup,
Mm-hmm.
she will never be out of the awareness that she reflects the concept of God manifesting itself into all aspects of life.
Yes. That's so true.
And I said that's as black men. We don't know this about you.
That's right.
We don't have a clue of the greatness of the magnificence of the creation of a black woman.
That's it.
You produce light before you produce life.
Life. That's correct.
That is an exact duplicate of
Mm-hmm.
what the Creator did.
Yes. Yes.
And for me,
Beautiful.
I was emotional, and I was writing it. And some people say that was the most powerful adult sermon they've ever heard me do. And I got a lot of compliments from it. But what it did was it began to shake my thoughts of how I'm supposed to be interacting and treating my sisters.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
with all that black women go through,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can't get black men to wake up until you get them to understand the greatness
Mm-hmm.
of who his partner is.
Exactly.
And so in that space, how do you with that? Well, because some women don't even know who they are.
Right.
And so in that phenomenal female,
Mm-hmm.
how do you get them to how do you expose them to themselves?
Well, actually, I think it starts with the village. And unfortunately, a lot of our young women today, they aren't raised like we were raised, or like I was raised, okay? People of my generation. Hey,
Say it.
things were tight. Okay, things were tight. Every month, mom knew just how. I mean, I had four sisters or three other sisters. There's four girls. Mom knew every month what was supposed to happen. Now, if somebody didn't use theirs for that month, she knew something was wrong. Okay, uh, it was just that tight. But yeah, no, we didn't grow up telling our or trying to be friends with our mothers.
Right,
Okay,
right, right, right,
we didn't have moms. We weren't smoking dope or drinking with our mothers.
right, right.
You know, we weren't going to nightclubs and stuff with our mothers. Mother was mother.
Mother.
My dear mama, you know, she was the queen, and we honored her as the queen. So unless an internal shift occurs in a young woman today, I'm afraid to say, or no, I'm not afraid to say,
Say it.
it's sad to say, that we have a whole lost generation. There was a time when if a young woman would see an older woman, and if they had been having a conversation with their friend and they were cursing or cussing, I guess, um, they would stop, or they'd say, "Excuse me, oh, I'm sorry." Oh, no, 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 no. Now if you look at them, what the F are you looking at? You know, that's what I'm saying. Unless an internal shift happens, and if the environment changes for those young ladies, then we've got a whole generation that's just going to be lost. Never would you have thought that there would be just as many young girls, out here with guns killing people. They're slinging. They're prostituting. We've got some young female pimps. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. There's gonna be. I used to say this a long time ago, because I remember Martin Luther King had a sermon at one point called "About Two Americas." This divide, it's like a chasm. It's really huge, and any more you have to just come to the realization that there's going to be two worlds, because not everyone is going to buy into being phenomenal.
Who got called? Right. Who got called you to be?
That's right.
Some people are, and that because in the beginning, the first show, I talked about the trauma that black women experience, and how far it goes back, and the fact that now, and when you're talking to some young sisters that I'm talking to, and some middle-aged sisters, and my eldest. In regards to there has to be a deeper process for them to realize who they are, because the ways of the world has gotten so strong. The lure not to be what God called you, yet still demand somebody call you queen.
Exactly.
But you don't even know what a queen looks like, sounds like if it was your own mother.
That's it.
And so that need for speak on what you feel is that need for self-healing.
Well, first of all, it's the emulation. There's a problem with that. Who they're emulating. If you look at young sisters today, you probably wouldn't recognize them without the lashes,
Come on.
without the wigs, without the makeup. without the breast, augmentation, with the Brazilian butt lift,
Come on.
wearing the bodycons and dresses, and we're showing everything, you know, until they really are get to a point where they're ready to deal with themselves honestly, without all that stuff.
Mhm.
When they are able to really look at themselves in the mirror and see the beauty that they were endowed with by the creator,
Mhm.
and how they don't need, all these things are supposed to be to enhance your natural beauty, not make you into somebody else.
Exactly.
And so when people talk, you hear some women talk about that alter ego that they have, like Beyonce, she's
Yeah,
got Sasha.
Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, she's got Sasha Fierce. And then I've heard other young ladies say, oh, you don't want so and so to come out, because,
Mhm.
if she comes out, it's going to be a whole thing. I am like, no, no. It's going to take, um, first of all, someone that has the guts
Mhm.
to approach these young women and ask them, who are you?
Mhm.
Do you know who you are? Who is it that you want to be? And who are you trying to be?
Mhm.
And when they think about that and get the answer to that, then I think it's going to really start to make a difference with some.
Right.
There are others that are perfectly happy because they're getting all the superfluous things, all of they're getting all the attention that they want from mostly men that don't give a damn about them.
This is
They
true.
want to use them, and some of them like it.
And
And,
it's
and it's
one of the
one
things
of the
that you
things that you
said.
said.
You
You
mentioned
mentioned
that it would
that it
take
would take
somebody with
somebody with
guts
guts
to
to
approach
Hmm.
approach them.
Hmm.
how
How
much
much
courage does it
courage does it
take
take
for
for
a woman
a
to
woman to
approach
approach
herself?
herself?
Mm.
That's
That's
something
something
because we can
because we
talk
can
about
talk
what it
about what it
takes
takes
for me
for
to
me
walk
to
up to
walk up to
you
you
and hold
and
up a
hold up a
mirror to
mirror
you
to
to
you to
say,
say,
who are you
who are you
trying to
trying to
be?
be?
Who do you
Who do
want to
you want to
be
be
versus who
versus
you're
who you're
called to
called
be?
to be?
Right.
Now,
Now,
Right.
can you
can you
speak
speak
on
on
what it
what it
takes
takes
for
for
a
a
woman to
woman to
actually
actually
have the
have the
courage
courage
enough to
enough
look
to
her
look her
own
own
self in the
self in
eye
the eye
Hmm.
and
and
say
say
what
what
she
she
who she
isn't
isn't and what
and
she
what she
is?
is?
Right.
What type of
What
Yeah,
type of
courage
that
is
courage
takes
is
that?
that?
it takes a lot of courage, a
Mhm.
lot of courage, because we lie to ourselves. You know, I mean, I'm just being blunt. We do. We lie to ourselves, and we conform to, a lot of times, to our wants and
Just
wishes,
right.
Right.
and so therefore we justify the things that we see and do. So looking in that mirror again, it's going to take an innate desire to be bold
Mm,
Mm.
and to take off the mask
mm.
and really look at yourself. I encourage journaling. A lot of people think, oh, journaling. No, go ahead and be honest with yourself.
With
With
yourself,
yourself.
Be honest with yourself. Nobody's going to see that but you.
but
But
you.
you.
You know what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
When you did this or did that or said this or said that, you know what was really going on in your mind. Write
Mm-hmm.
it down
Mm,
and
Mm.
then take a look at it.
mm.
Mm.
Being honest with yourself is very difficult,
Hard.
Hard.
but it's necessary to bring about change and authenticity.
I
I
say,
say,
and some
and
people
some people
ask,
ask,
brother, why
brother,
you
why
doing
you
this?
doing
One,
this? One,
because
because
I'm trying to
I'm trying to
understand
understand
my the
the
woman that
woman that
God
God
gave,
gave,
my
my
Mhm.
opposite
opposite
half,
half,
because I
because
can't
I
change
can't
the
change
square
the
without
square
a
without a
female.
female.
Men
That's
can't,
Men
right.
can't,
black men
black
can't
men
do this,
can't do
and
this.
then
And then
women can't
women
be
can't be
expected to
expected to
continue
continue
or even
or
try
even
to
try to
change the
change the
world
world
without us
without us
men.
Mhm.
men.
What
Right.
black
What
women
black
have
women
been
have
able
been
to
able
do
to do
is
is
sustain a
sustain a
community.
community.
Right. Exactly.
But you can't change the world without your better half.
That's it.
If you can't raise your sons to take the place in a home
Mm-hmm.
of a female,
Mm-hmm.
where you connect where two or more gather in God's name, so that he can be in that family.
The myths. That's right.
It doesn't work. So I said, I knew what I was when I broke my daughter's mother's heart.
Mm.
The hardest thing I ever had to face was myself.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was going through counseling, the counselor said, God already forgave you. You got to look in the mirror and say sorry to you.
So, mm-hmm.
And so you could. It was easier for me to say, God, I'm sorry.
Mm.
But
Mm-hmm.
man,
Mm.
when I had to look in my eyes and tell me who I was
Mm-hmm.
and who I wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
I broke down.
Yeah.
And that it does not equate to what a black woman has to go to. But I said those were my steps to move from just being a male
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
walking into the zone when I'm learning how to be a man.
Right. There you go.
And which is the same scenario. You can be a female,
Mm-hmm.
but will you ever transition into a woman?
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's the hardest thing
Mm-hmm.
to even think about doing.
Mm-hmm.
What would make that journey easier?
I think that what one would need to do is go back and revisit yourself growing up. Because a lot of the baggage and even the history that we drag into our adulthood comes from some trauma or something that's happened in our youth. And to understand why we do what we do or why we've done what we've done, again, we have to be totally honest with ourselves. You know, there's a lot of things that me as a PK, man, whoa, yeah, I got away with a whole lot. I really did, you know. But there's something about getting away and getting by, you know, because it will catch up with you. And I think a lot of times, as we grow up and grow older, those things, they never go away. We may have put it in the back burner, put it on the back burner or in the recesses of our minds, but it's still there. And it shapes who we become. And so that honesty and bringing all of that up, regurgitating it, and as I said before, writing it out and taking a look at it, I think it will really help with healing, because that's what needs to happen. There needs to be a healing, and to be able to forgive oneself and, you know, come up with some positive affirmations, some honest, you know, if there are things that you used to do that you know were not beneficial to you or those around you, you have to make a conscious effort to stop. To change.
One of the things that we talked about yesterday was the language of healing. The language of healing, which is a part of this journey, which is how you dress. It's how you present yourself in terms of your hair, your eyes, all of that. It's your body language, how you move. It's what you do. And what you say, what you think, and what you intake.
Exactly.
It's all your language of healing happens in so many different levels. You know, and I was talking to someone today, and
today, and I
saying
was
you
saying
can
you can
tell
tell
when
when
someone's
someone's
walking a
walking
life
a
of
life of
healing,
healing,
because when you
because
look
when you
at
look
who
at
they
who they
used to
used to
be,
be,
they don't
they
look
don't
the
look the
same.
same.
That's right.
They don't
They don't
present
present
themselves the
themselves
same.
the
They don't
same.
have
They
the
don't have
same
the same
dialogue.
dialogue.
Hmm.
I know
I know
in my
in my
personal
personal
journey,
journey,
and this
and
is
this is
why
why
me
me
and I
and I
never
never
took a
took a
time
time
coming up
coming
as
up
a
as a
brother to
brother
look
to look
to try
to
to
try to
figure out
figure out
what a
what a
woman
woman
going
going
through,
through,
because the
because the
brothers
brothers
always saying,
always say,
y'all don't
"Y'all don't
understand.
understand.
It's
It's
hard for
hard
a
for a
black
black
man."
man."
and
and
but taking
but
that
taking that
time
time
to just
to just
listen,
listen,
you
you
realize that
realize that
without the
without
black
the black
woman,
woman,
there would be
there would be
nothing
nothing
in the
in
black
the black
community.
community.
We would
We
have
would have
absolutely
absolutely
zero.
zero.
Exactly.
And
And
changing that
changing that
language
language
in
in
terms of
terms of
how we
how we
address,
address,
because
because
now
now
the
the
world
world
has got a
has got a
hold
hold
on a
on
black
a black
woman's
woman's
language,
language,
Hmm.
where she
where she
might say
might
the
say the
word
word
queen,
queen,
Hmm.
but she's
but she's
saying the
saying the
word
word
hoe.
hoe.
Exactly. You're right.
And that's a
And
You're
that's a
right.
scary
scary
thing.
thing.
And so
And so
the
the
journey to
journey to
see
see
black
black
women
women
saying
saying
that
that
hold that the
hold that the
world
world
has,
has,
or
or
developing, because
developing,
of
because
one
of
of
one of
my
my
spiritual
spiritual
mentor,
mentor,
Jemo
Jemo
Jebe Aja.
Aja.
Ajman, he's
He's a
the founder
the
of our
founder of our
church.
church.
Hmm.
He had
He has
said
said
in one of his
one of his
last
last
conversations with
conversations
me
with me
was,
was,
I'm worried
"I'm worried
about your
about your
generation."
generations."
So
So
why? I said,
why?
because
Because
when the
when the
black
black
woman
woman
begins to
begins to
live her
live her
life
life
the way
the
the
way the
black
black
man
man
has,
had,
and she
and she
walks
walks
away
away
from what
from what
she's been
she's been
doing
doing
all this
all this
time,
time,
Hmm.
we can say
we can say
goodbye to our
goodbye to our
community. He said,
community. He
"You're
said,
going to
"You
have
gonna
it
have it
hard."
hard."
I said, "What
I
you
said, "What
mean?"
you mean?"
He said,
He said,
"Trying to
"Trying
get
to
them
get
to
them to
understand
understand
that they
that they
still
still
slaves.
slaves.
It's going to
It's
be a
gonna be a
struggle."
struggle."
That's it. That's it.
Now, one of the
Now, one
things
of the things
I'll
I'll
say
say
in
in
terms of
terms of
the
the
struggle that we
struggle that
have,
we have,
Hmm.
we
we
still
still
celebrate
celebrate
Mother's Day
Mother's Day
way
way
better than
better
we
than
do
we do
Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Well, and rightfully so. Yes, we need both.
Exactly.
We need both. We need our men. Growing up, I wish that I could have had a better relationship with my father. I loved him dearly. Um, but my dad was more of a disciplinarian and a provider.
Mm.
We didn't get the hugs and um, a lot of the support, by coming to, our plays or whatever it is, that we were doing. He was busy providing, he was working. But I think that plays a really big role, though, because the first love of a young woman's life is her father.
It's going to
It's
be her
gonna be her
dad.
dad.
It's going to be her
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we judge or we look for, if you don't treat me as good as my daddy, then I don't need you.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay? I don't need you. And rightfully so,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I just think that in this day and time, in order to bring about change, it's going to be important for our women, our sisters,
Mm-hmm.
to do some introspection.
Mm-hmm.
They have to want to.
Mm.
Mm.
I can't make you do anything. I can talk, I can give seminars, I can give, um, all types of workshops and all of this
Mm-hmm.
to talk about self-love and empowerment and all of this. But if you still got stinking thinking, you can go to all these things and look sharp and all that and walk out and still be ratchet.
Mm.
Mm.
I'm gonna
Okay?
write
I'm
that.
gonna write that.
You gonna hear
You
that
gonna
in
hear
one of
that in one of
my
my
lessons.
lessons.
Stinking,
Thinking,
thinking.
thinking.
Thinking. That's right. So, but long story short, and then I'm gonna have to go, sweetheart. I really,
Okay.
really am enjoying this so much. That's why, like I said, I was getting ready to go to bed, and then
Mm-hmm.
I saw a message come on saying, um, that you were live. And I said, I looked at the clock and I said, it's after 10 o'clock. I said, he's on. I said, I'm getting on. I don't care. Looking ugly, whatever. I said,
I
I'm getting on
appreciate it.
here because I really, really, I'm very proud of you and
Thank you.
grateful, grateful that you are walking in this and you've taken up the mantle to help our community and help our sisters, and men,
And
you know,
children.
and children. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Coming up because they need this wisdom.
They do.
You know, a lot of them aren't getting it at home. They're not getting it at school. You know, too many of them are learning how to sag and how to, you know, I mean, I put it this way.
Self-exploit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's why I had to get on tonight and to say thank you
Thank you.
for doing what you're doing.
Can before you go,
Mhm.
we're gonna end up on a up. Can you share an experience that you remember that made you feel like
Mhm.
the things that you were doing was making a difference in sisters' lives?
Oh, I would say that one of the things that I was really blessed to do was when I lived in Arizona, and it was the first um, conference that Phenomenal Females actually did. We had over 350 women that came from over 6 or 7 different states, and we all converged in Arizona. And I had the blessing of taking them to Sedona. I don't know if you've ever been to Sedona, Arizona. I'm telling you, it used to be where NASA would do their
Experiments and
experiment,
stuff.
and because the vortex, it's the elevation is so high. Even now, when you go there, the hair on your arms and legs stands up. It's really, really a spiritual place. And I had the privilege of taking them to that, to that little city, and they really, really found. I think they found out some things about themselves, and that is what has made my determination to keep on, no matter if I have one person or 100 people. I will keep sharing that which God has placed in me to share, to help as many women and sisters, mainly, particularly, specifically, to be the very best that they can be. So that's what I would say.
And I hope that as I continue doing what I'm doing, that I can fall somewhere close to the accomplishments that you have had, so that I can make you proud.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt.
And I appreciate you for coming on this evening. Something said late night stream.
I
Late
love
night
that.
stream.
But I'll say this one thing. I think it's awesome. And I'll tell you what, next time I'll look cuter, but I'm going to have my pajamas on because it's late night stream. And that's what you do.
Anyway.
That's what you do late at night. So this is a really great way to end the evening. It really is.
Thank you.
So I thank you.
And I appreciate that. And with that being said, we here, we both want to say good night.
Good night.
If I had to choose, I would still choose you. After all the things society has told you to imbue, somehow your light has been able to shine through. The power resides within divine feminine, not only in women, but also in men. The balance obtained here is what will light our feet on the path to come. It is the strength that we keep near that will allow our spirits to hold steadfast and not succumb. The energy of love, of life, of all creation The spark of light in the womb that combusts evolves into a nation. The divine feminine, the power held so dearly. The divine feminine, the scope that allows us to see one humanity again so clearly. The power that we hold, the sparkling in our eyes, how our self and inner beauty unfold in the truth seen beyond the disguise. Oh, you are divine, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. I am thankful daily for all of the miracles that you birth. When I sit and I truly ponder the things that I'm grateful for, my heart does not wander. Because I know truth, and truth is love. If you live through understanding of self, then nothing comes above. When you understand your oneness with nature and all else that surrounds, you stop being disturbed by all of the external sounds. You realize the silence within yourself. You understand the meaning of true wealth. It is your health. Everything you intake then becomes part of your body, your temple, your physical self. Understand that the keys to your kingdom again lie within yourself. With all of this, we must remember, there is nothing here with which we are not members. We must honor and respect the environment as ourselves, because we are directly impacted by everything we output, and that equates to our health. Kindness, love, grace. Allow heaven to become embodiment, much more than a place. And when things seem difficult, you are able to face, because through your divine feminine, you will recall your righteousness that cannot be replaced.